Hello everyone, welcome to Norma today. My name is Norma Salon. I'm really excited to be here. Today I'm going to be telling you exactly how I detangle my 4C hair, and I'm going to be doing it with water only. So without wasting too much time, let's jump into it. I've been natural now for going on 9 years, and when I started out, I know absolutely nothing about natural hair or how to take care of my natural hair. The only thing I knew was that I really loved it. I really loved natural hair, texture, everything about it, and I wanted to keep mine. I wanted to grow mine. And in the past 9 years, I have had a series of ups and downs, highs and lows. But I've also learned a lot in that period. And what has been a game changer for me was forever ditching combs, forever and ever, and taking up solely finger detangling. So what I do now is that I finger detangle my hair only, no more combs, and I've not used a comb on my hair for the past 2 years. Yes, since COVID lockdown, I haven't used a comb on my hair, and I have experienced the most growth. I've experienced the most length retention, the least shedding ever in my 9 years of having my natural hair. So today, in today's video, I'm going to be telling you exactly what it is. I'm going to be showing you raw and edited what it is that I do and how I do it. Before COVID, I'd used a combination of finger detangling and combing. But the thing about it is that my finger detangling technique was not great. And so for that reason, I was, first of all, frustrated. I was always frustrated when I was trying to finger detangle. And also because I have thin strands, I have delicate strands. So too much combing is not good for me. When you comb a lot, you find out that you almost have more hair on the ground than you have on your head. So it wasn't working for me. And that is not to say that combing doesn't work for people, or a combination of combing and for finger detangling. But for my own kind of hair, this is what has worked for me. I had a conversation with my sister pre-COVID lockdown, and she told me that she had started using finger detangling only, and she was experiencing great results, better length retention. It was just a final experience for her. And since it was already lockdown, I was like, okay, we have some time on our hands. Why don't I experiment with this and see how it is? I started and I bettered my technique. I got better at it with every try. And I got to the point where finger detangling was a better option for me. I noticed that my hair stopped shedding like it had previously. For that reason, I had better length retention. The fullness of my hair was better. It was just a win-win for me, and I knew I was never going back. So without taking too much of your time, let me go straight on and let's see how exactly I do it. It's best to put your hair in chunky twists before detangling. My hair had been in twists for 2 weeks. Ideally, I would use a spray bottle for dampening my hair, but my kids had misplaced the cover of my bottle, so I'll be dipping my fingers into a bowl of water, just enough to dampen the entire section of the hair from tip to roots. The tips especially, because those parts tend to knot and tangle easily, so separate those and then unravel the twist. Gently separate the strands carefully. I feel around for knots and product buildup. And then when I found one, I carefully separate the strands. You will notice shed hairs as you feel through. Take those out because they contribute to tangles. Be very careful with the tips of your hair because they are the oldest and most fragile parts. Work your way from tips to roots, still looking for knots. Your fingers, I believe, are most effective at detecting knots, and you can carefully unravel it, unlike a comb that might be harsher at the knotted areas. Sometimes the knots may be too stubborn and you might have to use a pair of scissors to cut them out, but make sure you aren't being too impatient. When I feel the hair getting dry or I find an area too knotty, I just re-wet so it becomes soft again, and then I continue to detangle. Begin to simulate the combing motion with your fingers through your hair, and if you find any knots, you just carefully detangle. Now comb through thoroughly, making sure that your fingers flow freely through your hair. Comb through gently but thoroughly. I'm still finding a few knots, so I take care of those. Finally, it's all clear. My fingers are moving through, and then I can put them in a twist back again to prevent them from being tangled. The tangling's all done. Repeat the same with all the other twists on your hair, and you'll have wonderfully detangled hair. So guys, that's how I figured to tangle my hair. I realized that it might not be very practical for some people based on the time that it might take, but just note that the more you do it, the better you get at it, and the more you're detangling sessions, the more future sessions will be easier. What I mean is that if you detangle every week, you'll find out that as each week goes by, your hair is less tangled and it's easier to do detangling. It might not work for everybody, but I would challenge you to try it and see, it might just work for you. Another pro is that you're working your arm muscles. So I mean, who can argue with that? I have a whole lot of natural hair content planned out for you guys, and if there's any topic you'd like me to talk about specifically, please let me know in the comment section. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you gained value from it, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when I release my next content. And until next time,